Porchlight burning like it knew I'd pass. I parked before morning on the edge of my street, with the wipers at rest and the world half asleep. There was light in the window, a key in my hand, and a house I could reach if I wanted to stand. The seat held my back like it knew where I'd been. The dash had gone quiet, just a faint little spin of the fan in the dark and the wires underneath, like something kept turning where I couldn't see. I made it back across the last line, but some part of me stayed outside. I made it home, but I didn't get out. Sat with the dark while the rain thinned out. The road was done, but I wasn't through. Parked before morning, still wanting to move. There were shoes by the doorway, mail on the floor, a clock in the kitchen I'd ignored before, the kind of small laugh that should have felt warm, but I watched it from outside like a passing storm. I could see my reflection in the driver's side glass, bolder than the night that had just gone past. No thunder, no sirens, no reason to stay. Just my hand on the key, not turning away. Nothing chased me, nothing called, but the quiet there felt bigger than all. I made it home, but I didn't get out. Sat with the dark while the rain thinned out. The road was done, but I wasn't through. Parked before morning, still wanting to move. Maybe I thought arrival was peace, a door with a number, a place I could keep. But the night had left something under my skin, not asking to leave, just asking what it had been. I made it home, but I didn't get out. Held the key still while the sky turned pale. The road was done, but I wasn't through. Parked before morning, still wanting to move. I made glass. One porch light burning like it knew I'd pass. I made it home, I stayed outside. Morning came slow, and I didn't hide. Porchlight in blue, rain on the step, a key in my palm. I hadn't used yet. The house sat quiet at the end of the lane, with the gutter still dripping from the last of the rain. A curtain moved once, then settled back down, like even the walls didn't want me around. There were flowers in a jar by the kitchen glass, and a coat on a chair from a season that passed. I could name every window, every crack in the floor, but I stayed with my hand on the unopened door. It wasn't far, it wasn't gone, but something that close can still feel wrong. Porchlight in blue, waiting on me, big in the dark, look easy to leave, but I stood where the rain had silvered my shoes. Almost home, under a porchlight in blue. A dog barked twice from a yard down the street, then gave up the ghost and went back to sleep. Somebody's paper lay soaked at the curb, full of yesterday's news and tomorrow's words. I saw my own shape in the window pane, not coming or going, just caught in the frame. The life on the inside was quiet and warm, but I knew how to stand in the weather more. I had the key, I knew the way, but knowing a door ain't the same as stay. Porchlight in blue, waiting on me, lake in the dark, look easy to leave, but I stood where the rain had silvered my shoes. Almost home, under a porchlight in blue. Maybe a room can be too still, maybe a name can outgrow a bill, maybe the place that keeps you alive is the one you circle and never go inside. Porchlight in blue, still burning low, like it had something it wanted me to know. I stepped toward the door, then looked back at the view. Almost home, under a porchlight in blue. Porchlight in blue, waiting on me, back in the dark, look easy to leave, but I stood where the rain Under a porch light in blue, a key in my palm, rain on the step, a house full of quiet. I hadn't entered yet. Porch light in blue, soft as a bruise, almost home, still waiting to choose. No sound from the street, no voice in the walls, just rain losing hold on the windshield. The glass had gone silver where the night dried thin, a pale little line where the day might begin. The house stood behind me with its windows low, and the street lamp buzzed like it knew what I owed. I sat with my hands where the wheel had been warm, no thunder left over, no shape of a storm, just the tick of the car as it cooled in the blue. Quiet leaned in like it wanted the truth. It didn't speak, it didn't accuse, but it left me there with nothing to use. Quiet like a question, hanging in the air. Quiet like a room with nobody there. I thought the night was empty, I thought the road was done, but the stillness had a voice, and I couldn't outrun one. There were lines on my hands from the seams of the wheel, small red marks where I'd held on to a reel. A cup in the holder gone bitter and cold, a map folded wrong from a town I outgrew. The mirror held a face I had passed by for years, not young, not ruined, not clean of its fears, just a man in blue with his coat still on, listening hard to the place he'd come from. No sign came down, no answer burned, just the sound of a life waiting to be learned. Quiet like a question, with nobody there. I thought the night was empty, I thought the road was done, but the stillness had a voice, and I couldn't outrun one. Maybe the moving was never the cure, maybe the miles just made it blur, maybe the thing I kept calling escape was the only way I knew how to nothing, and it said it at last. Quiet like a question under fading stars. Quiet like a room still learning who you are. I thought the night was over. I thought the night was over. I thought the road was done. I thought the road was done. But the silence had a shape, and I couldn't outrun one. Rain lost its hold, morning stayed pale. My hand left the wheel, but not the trail. No sound from the street, no voice in the walls, just quiet like a question, still asking it all. Key in my hand, rain on the floor. One step from home, still outside the door. The porch boards darkened where the weather came through. My coat held the cold and the smell of the blue. I could hear the house settling under its own weight, like it knew I was there and was willing to wait. There was mud on my boots from the edge of the drive, a porch rail wet under one hand alive. The lock was in front of me, simple and small, but I stood like a man at the foot of a wall. I knew the turn, I knew the sound, but some lines get closer when you don't cross down. Still outside the door with the key in my hand. Still outside the door where the rain had me standing. I came all this way to the place I was looking for, but I couldn't go in. Still outside the door. A lamp in the hallway made a gold little square on the glass by the handle, and the dust in the air. There were pictures inside from a life I could name, but the face in the window didn't fit in the frame. I thought I'd come back when the driving was done, with nothing to prove and nowhere to run. But the quiet on the porch had a different kind of weight, like the house was a question and the answer came late. No voice inside, no hand on the shade, just the shape of a life I had almost made. Still outside the door with the key in my hand. Still outside the door where the rain had me standing. I came all this way to the place I was looking for, but I couldn't go in. Still outside the door. Maybe a door is not just wood. Maybe coming back ain't the same as being good. Maybe the room on the other side wasn't asking me in, it was asking who or I. Still outside the door while the sky turned thin. Still outside the door with the morning coming in. I came all this way to the place I was looking for, but I couldn't go in. Still outside the door. Still outside the door. Not leaving, not free. Still outside the door with the house watching me. The curb, keys in my coat, a house behind me, a line in my throat. Past the window where the hallway stayed lit, with my hand on the rail and my jaw set stiff. The street had gone quiet, the gutters ran slow, and the tires cooled down by the edge of the road. I could have gone in, put my name on the chair, let the room take my coat, let the clock fill the air. But the dark past the houses kept pulling its thread through the cuff of my sleeve and the back of my head. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a sign, just the old blue pole at the edge of the line. What kept me out wasn't the lock on the door, wasn't the cold, wasn't wanting more. Something in the distance knew my name somehow. I thought I was leaving, but it was what kept me out. There were lamps in the rooms where the neighbors slept, and a newspaper folded on a porch still wet, a bicycle chained to a fence gone black, and the shape of my car with the rain on its back. I stood in the middle of the life I had made, with a key that was cut and a debt that was paid. But the road past the corner had a darker kind of truth, like a hand through the years reaching back for the youth. No one was calling, no one came near, but the farther I looked, the more it got clear. What kept me out wasn't the lock on the door, wasn't the cold, wasn't wanting more. Something in the distance knew my name somehow. I thought I was leaving, but it was what kept me out. Called it escape, so I wouldn't have to know that the place I kept circling was a place I used to go. Maybe I named it trouble, maybe I named it wrong, maybe the dark I blamed had been carrying me along. What kept me out wasn't the lock on the door, wasn't the cold, wasn't wanting more. Something in the distance knew my name somehow. I thought I was leaving, but it was what kept me out. Was it a wound I could show? What kept me out? Was it a place I was trying not to go? It was the pull in the pavement, the blue in the south, the shape of the road that kept drawing me out. Blue on the curb, keys in my coat, a house behind me, a line in my throat. I turned from the door, but not like before. Now I knew what kept me out, and I wanted to know more. key in my hand, no sound under me. The rain had stopped talking to the roof overhead. The curb held a shine where the night had bled. My coat smelled of weather, my hand smelled of steel, from holding too long to the shape of the wheel. There was nothing behind me that needed a name, no fire in the distance, no one else to blame. Just a house standing quiet with its porch light low, and the strange little ache of not wanting to go. I thought it would leave when the dark let go, but some things stay when the night gets slow. The warning stayed after the street went blue, after the rain let go, after I almost moved. I had no place to run, no promise to be saved. But when the world got quiet, the warning stayed. A cup in the holder had gone cold to the touch. The map in the door still folded too much. There was mud on the mat and a light down the hall, a life I could enter by doing nothing at all. But I watched the first color come over the wires, like a match held far from a field of old tires. No blaze, no answer, no voice from above, just the shape of a hunger I could no longer call love. Not loud enough to call it fate, just close enough to keep me awake. The warning stayed after the street went blue, after the rain let go, after I almost moved. I had no place to run, no promise to be saved. But when the world got quiet, the warning stayed. I used to call it leaving, so I wouldn't call it mine. I used to blame the distance for the weather in my spine, but distance didn't make me, it only showed the seam between the life I entered and the one that followed me. The warning stayed when the porch light thinned, when the glass turned pale, when the morning came in. I had no grand answer, no debt finally paid, just a hand on the key. And the warning stayed, not sharp, not clean, not a sign in the clouds, not a beautiful thing, just the road in my chest with a quieter name. I made it back home, but the warning stayed, pale in the window, blue on the street, a key in my hand, no sound under me. I didn't turn away, I didn't go inside. Morning came slow, and something stayed alive.